y'all, this is your girl Sonia, and welcome back to She Say Sports. This month marks my 1 year anniversary as the host for She Say Sports podcast. I'm excited and thankful that I have 1 year under my belt and looking forward to many more years to come. This month, I will be talking with women who are at the top of their game in their respective fields. Today, I have with me Marketing Operations Manager of Fox Sports, Mahogany Ratcliffe Arbitton. How are you?
I am great. How about you?
I'm doing well. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was uneventful. It was just me and my baby girl. My husband had to work, so I cooked this big meal, and it's just it's still here.
I'm sure y'all had plenty of days of leftovers for sure.
We did, girl. We had to throw them things out because we'll be eating on it for the next month and a half.
Right. That's great. Thank you so much for joining the show today.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Please tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
So, like you said, I work for Fox Sports. I am originally from Tampa, Florida, but I have been in Los Angeles for almost 15 years, 14 years right now, and I love to travel, and I love my sports. So anything sports, food, and travel related, I can have long conversations about.
And I saw when I was reading your bio, you like you said, you like to travel, and you're about to hit your seventh continent. Have you already did it, or COVID stopped that?
Oh, COVID stops everything. I actually am not sure. I'm really contemplating whether I want to go to Antarctica or not because I don't like cold weather at all. So that would be a stretch for me. But yeah, that's the seventh continent that I have not stepped foot on yet.
That is awesome. That's amazing. And I mean, this world, God made this world for us to see. So, after this year, I travel, but I'm gonna really start doing a little bit more because I'm like, it's just I really got cabin fever. I think we all did.
Oh, absolutely. Every chance I get, I'm getting out of this house. Y'all,
No.
my poor house ain't gonna see me.
Right. So, Mahogany, you've been in sports marketing industry for the last 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us exactly what you do on a day-to-day basis as a marketing operations manager.
Basically, I work with on-air promotions, which is, in layman's terms, commercials. We promote our own shows and our own events. So day to day, I'm basically the beginning and the end of commercials and what we call in-game. So anytime you're watching a game and a graphic pops up that is promoting another sport, like this pay-per-view event that we have coming up for boxing, that's me.
That's you. Wow.
So I'm responsible for that. I'm responsible for tickers that you see running across the screen, and that's my day to day.
Wow. So, I mean, and that is pretty, I mean, that's interesting because, now, when I'm watching Sunday, watching the games, I'll know that's you. And I'm like, wow, that's Mahogany. So I like that. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So you got your start in sports marketing after co-hosting your first ever female duo sports podcast on the Inside Sports. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did On the Inside Sports come to fruition?
It's funny because my friend Jennifer Rodriguez, she's my co-host. We were just sitting around and talking about sports, and she worked for the NFL, and I worked in sports, and I worked in news as well, and we're just going back and forth, and the people around us were like thoroughly entertained by our just normal conversation. So we just thought, like, hey, we just need to go in the studio and crank out a few episodes based on, who we know and, the fun things about sports that people want to know. And so we went into the studio. I was working in radio at the time, and we cranked out some podcasts, and people really enjoyed it, and we enjoyed doing it.
How long ago was this?
We did this. We started in about 2008, I believe it was, and we went for about 5 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so it lasted for a while. It was a great endeavor. It was hard, but it was so much fun. It was so rewarding.
Wow. So, with being the first ever female duo sports podcast, you have opened doors for so many other female podcasts like myself, She Say Sports, and I thank you for that. Have you seen an increase of women's sport podcasts since you started yours?
Oh my gosh, there's been so many, and it's and even our intern, it's funny, she just started one recently. So she was like our first intern years and years ago, and now she has her own sports all female duo podcast. And I've just seen so many people, whether it be blogs and podcasts, and so many women just take over the sport, the sports reporting, and take over the space. And it's great to see. It's amazing to see because we have so much to say, and we're the first sports fans. I feel like on the sidelines, we're moms and we're cheerleaders, and we were the first fans, I think, of sports. So I think we have a lot to say.
How does that? I mean, that's been 12 years now. How does that make you feel? I mean, you guys like kicked the door in for us. How does that make you feel?
I feel pretty good, about it, and there are plenty of women that we looked up to and that we were interested in working with and being like. So it's just an ongoing cycle, I should say, of promoting other women and helping other people get to the space and to take up space as women. So yeah, it's nice to see that there's so many people that have walked in our shoes and that taken our path. So
that is so cool. That's awesome. Would you consider doing a podcast like that again?
Oh yes, my my co-host has been getting the itch again, and she calls me ready. Almost. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy, and I put a lot of work into it. So it's a little bit more difficult to do now that I'm married with a kid. So I'm searching for that energy in my tank to be able to make it happen again.
I think you can pull it off. Yeah,
I
think you'll get it done.
I hope so. Great.
So what are some tips on how to market your podcast in order to generate more listeners? I'm going to ask you that, and that's what you do. So
yeah, and I wish I was like a great marketer then that I am now. But the main thing is that. And I think where we failed a lot was trying to work with people that and your biggest fans are not going to be the people that you know already. Mm-hmm. Your biggest fans and supporters are strangers.
Yeah,
and and instead of focusing on the people that we knew, we should have been reaching out to the people that were already listening and working on their people, because those are the people that can vouch for you, right? So you have 4 fans or 4 very religious listeners, right? So let's work on their followers. So you market to them. You push your Twitter and you push your all your social media towards them. You push any type of post that you have towards them, at them, tag them, make them feel like they're part of it. Those 4 people then have 20 followers each. They're going to do the same thing. And so now you have 4 people, you went to 80. And it's an organic following that happens that way. And it might be a lot slower than you would anticipate, but it's the best, most organic way to keep the audience that you need and to gain the audience that you want.
That is so interesting that you said that, because my producer, he had to talk me off the ledge when I first started. So because I was like, no one's liking my post, and he said, Sonia, they're listening, they're watching. He was like, don't look at it as, no one is listening or paying attention, because they are. And he said, and because he can see stuff behind the scenes, he said, we can have up to 200,000 listeners. So you have fans. He said, people talk to me about your show. So, stop looking at it that way. But now listening to you, let it just happen organically and with people that you don't know. And that's where a lot of my fans is, a lot of people that I don't know. So
it's my mama. I got my mama, and I got a few people, that I don't know, and it works that way. Sometimes we get down on ourselves because our friends. It's free to share. It's free to retweet. It's free to do this, and they won't do it.
They won't do it.
They won't do it, and we get down about it. Well, okay, you need to celebrate the people that show up. So the people that show up and listen to your show, and the people that like your stuff, then go after them and keep making them feel a part of the family and a part of the home. We can't chase our tails and chase the people that just don't want to participate.
Thank you for that great advice. I really needed to hear that, and it's fine. Like you said,
I needed to hear that, girl. I needed to hear that 12 years ago.
I mean, the Bible says encourage yourself. So.
Yes.
So you have to encourage yourself and, keep pushing, because in my heart, I believe this was something God gave me, and I'm going to, you have to just keep moving. You can't worry about what nobody is doing. So This was great. Thank you for that information.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Awesome. So, Mahogany, before working in the sports industry, you worked for both CBS Radio News and CNN. Were you in marketing with those stations?
So I was in marketing with CNN, and I guess I kind of got the marketing job at CNN accidentally. But that was during the war. That was after 9/11.
Oh, okay. So 2003, 2004.
I was out about 2002, 2003, and it was just all war, all everything.
Wow.
Tune in to CNN. More war. That's all it was. And so then I moved to New York, and I accidentally got a job in radio news.
You just accidentally get.
I just these things. I went. It's funny because I went to an interview for Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Really?
Yes, I went to an interview for Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and it was just like an internship. I just moved to New York, and I was like, I'll take anything at this point. And the producer was like, girl, you just came from CNN. I am not going to hire you as an intern. And he had called his old boss at CBS Radio and was like, hey, you got to hire this woman. And she did. And so, it was, she said, I don't have a place for you right now, but, I'll call you. And she ended up calling me, and we made it happen. But, it was, I guess I've been really blessed to just fall into jobs.
And then favored, because, that is so awesome. So what made you cross over to sports?
Well, see, when I started in sports, so I did my first internship was with Fox Sports. And so everything pulled me in a direction. When I worked in radio, I was always doing sports stories, and just everything was all sports my whole life anyway. So it was, I an ad. I think it was some type of job post. It was late at night. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and the job post just popped up, and I was like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, I need to get back into sports. That's where my heart is. And I applied for it, and I guess the vice president at the time, one of the vice presidents of marketing, he was up late too, and he, was like, come in for an interview. And so I got right back in because it was marketing is what I knew at CNN. It was, it was just, and it's sports. So it just all fit together. It's, what's meant for you will happen. And have been trying for years to get back into sports. News is my life. I'm nosy. I want to be the first to know. So I'll always, I'll always be up on news. But sports is also my love. So
yeah, I feel you. So marketing is pretty much behind the scenes. You prefer being behind the scenes?
I do enjoy being behind the scenes, but I think my gift of gab sometimes is not meant for behind the scenes. Because I'm going to tell it like it is in marketing, and sometimes they don't really want to hear that. So right. I need somebody to listen.
It's the radio.
I like a lot. Yeah.
It's the podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm sure it'll come back around.
Yeah.
So you're also a board member for the Women of Fox Sports and an ambassador on the Fox Sports Inclusion Council. So, Mahogany, this Women of Fox Sports, is this some kind of sorority, if you will?
You know what? I never thought of it that way, but it's basically, I can give it that. So, Women of Fox Sports was basically made a group of powerful women that are in sports, just for us to gather to make amazing. We have just amazing presentations and events that talk about women. So the last event that we had was a group of racers, all female racers. And they're stock car drivers. There's so many. And we had the most amazing time. And you just think of all the amazing women throughout sports. We had Stephanie McMahon, who's over WWE, come in, and we had an event around her. So we just have these amazing events, and we're just basically trying to promote the women that are holding it down in sports. People don't realize that you would not have your NFL, you're not going to have your NBA, and you're not going to have your MLS or your hockey, any of that, without women. I look at our department, and women are doing most of the work. So we're bringing you to sports, and that's why we had to make this group. And it's been incredibly successful. And there's since we were created, plenty of other groups have come out. There we have a noir group at Fox, which represents the Black community, and we have an Asian Pacific group, and we have an Ola, that's the Hispanic group. We just have plenty of groups that have evolved because of Women of Fox Sports, and it's great to be part of that community.
That's awesome. And you're my sorority sister, but I want into this sorority sister.
Yeah.
This sorority.
It's great. It's really great. Come on down.
This is awesome. That sounds really good. So, how many are part of this group? How many is it?
Well, that's the rough part, because a lot of us got a lot of people got let go from Fox Sports, and then Disney bought us earlier last year, so we were broken apart. Then they took most of our affiliates, so our RSNs or any of the smaller regional networks, those people are gone. So, girl, I don't know what our numbers are now. It's just, it's kind of sad that, you send an email out and it bounces back because people are let go due to COVID. And
this has to end. I'm so ready for this to be over.
Absolutely.
So, does this group go hand in hand with the Inclusion Council?
No, it's completely different. The Inclusion Council was brought about due to the what's going on in our society with Black Lives Matter and just equity and just trying to make sure that we are creating a space for our employees that is inclusive and representative of our society. So it is a group that of about 15 people. We come up with solutions, then we report them to the powers that be, and they make the changes, and they go, they listen.
Yeah, that's
and it's important to have a group that is actively working at making things right. And, we've had hundreds of years of things just being pushed under the rug and people not recognizing that we aren't inclusive and that we aren't equal. We're not getting equal pay and that we're not hiring at the rates that we should be hiring. So that's where we are.
Awesome. So how important is this council for women in sports?
It's completely separate, but it's still it is still important for women in sports, being that we need to hire at a higher rate. We need to make sure that they're okay once they get here and that they're being promoted, that they're being given the pay equity that they deserve. There's so many things, and they're included. When we talk about inclusion, women in sports are included in this. Sure.
Absolutely. So, it's 2020, and you would think that women would have a more level playing field, and pun intended on that, as men do in the sports industry. Despite all that has gone on this year, 2020 has been the year of the woman, really. We saw the first woman, Kamala Harris, elected as Vice President of the United States. We also saw this past Saturday the first woman playing a Power 5 football game at Vanderbilt, Sarah Fuller. That was so awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to play football as a child. I really was being fast. I don't really think I was trying to play, but but to see that Saturday, that was remarkable. Do you believe? And I know, I can still ask this question. I think. Do you believe inclusion councils like the one at Fox Sports help make this opportunity happen for Sarah Fuller?
I'd like to think that, but I really think that has to do with their individual leadership, because the fact that they even let her join and just because I saw a post of just so many people. I hope she gets creamed, and I hope this, and I hope that. Yeah, it was disgusting, and the misogyny of it was just disgusting, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at like, they really gotta have some balls to put this girl out there and give her the opportunity to be on a team. And I think that was just so brave and honorable, just the fact that she's on the team. Because looking at those posts, this is what they're working against. they're working against the misogyny of so many men, even some women just, being hateful and being disgusting. The fact is that, this is still 1930s, in the 1930s in some instances,
Right.
and, she doesn't belong. And of course she belongs. She has her skill set. She knows what she's doing. She's been doing this. And then she didn't wake up last week and say, I want to get on the football field. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
yeah, I think, I say kudos to the leadership for making this possible and not backing down, because I'm sure they were met with some disagreement.
Absolutely. And, it's just, like you said, she didn't wake up Friday and was like, I want to kick for you guys. I mean,
Right.
There's been preparation and time put in to ensure that, one, she would be safe. And like you said, she's been doing this. It's not like, she's been doing this. She's on the soccer team, so she knows how to kick, and she does it well. So I'm excited to see how far this goes. I did not know. I guess I wasn't really paying attention to the what people were saying, and I was looking at the footage and everything. I guess I didn't read the comments, and I really hate that. That's very unfortunate.
Stay out of the comments. That'll just make you
yeah
upset. Anyway.
I mean, that is so unfortunate because it's and I guess there's some insecurities for some people who don't want a lot of things to change.
Right.
I mean, I get it, I understand, but there's no need to say, I don't know. That is just crazy to me. But
it's the society that we live in,
Yeah, you're right. And again, it's 2020, and some things have changed, and some things they stay the same, I guess. So, but congratulations to Sarah Fuller. I mean, I'm sure we'll be hearing a lot more about her and her career. That's awesome. Mahogany, what advice would you give any women out there who has a passion for sports and would like to try their hand in the sports industry?
Just do it. I mean, don't sit back, don't wait. Do what you have to do. If you want to start a blog, start writing. If you want to start a podcast, get a mic. Make things happen. I think that we sit back and we talk ourselves out of it, and we let people, people's opinions affect us. Just go for it. I really can't say anything other than just do it.
Do it. Awesome. Mahogany, it has been a pleasure to speak with you today. Please tell the listeners how they can follow you on your social media.
Okay, I am on Instagram at Bad Girls Sport, on Twitter at Bad Girls Sport, at Bad Girls Sport, and Bad Girls Sport on Facebook as well.
And guys, you can follow me at She Say Sports on Facebook and She Say Sports 23 on Instagram. Guys, that's my show for today. Until next time, this is Sonia with She Say Sports. I'll see you on the radio.